In 1862, while the United States was in its first year of the Civil War, then President Lincoln was facing an even more personal hardship than trying to keep the country together. On February 20th, 1862, he lost his 11-year-old son to typhoid fever. And according to historical accounts, on the night that Willie's body was interred, President Lincoln visited his crypt twice just to hold his son's body, an endearing image that George Saunders says resonated with him deeply, so deeply that it became the impetus for his debut novel, Lincoln and the Bardo. It's like a funeral procession turned upside down where the mourners don't have the last cry. There's not much to describe as far as synopsis goes. I mean, a majority of these characters are dead, so there's that. And these dead characters are in sick boxes and of the belief that they are just temporarily ill and that they can return home to the loved ones who put them away. So on the night that Willie Lincoln arrives at the graveyard, the two main recurring characters, Roger Bevins and Hans Bollman, are surprised to be welcoming such a young lad. Hans and Roger are plagued by somewhat failed romantic escapades in their former life and believe that they can leave their sick boxes and finish what they started. And the same can be said for the ensemble of characters who are also resisting the complete transition from a reverend to the slaves and soldiers. The dead find themselves incessantly conjuring up the affairs of their previous life because there's still that belief that they can return to it. This transitional realm of existence was kind of trippy, and for me it felt like I was reading about this shadow of humanity. It wasn't just about death as an ending, but death like the final paragraph in which you restate your thesis and you summarize all those supporting points of an essay. It's told in a rather unique way in that it's formatted like theater dialogue, but it's straight up prose. The ghosts that move the story forward are at times comical, infuriating, yet emotionally stirring as they recount what brought them to the Bardo in the first place. And they have a unique perspective of Abe Lincoln's sorrow, for as Michiko Kakutani points out in her New York Times review, Lincoln was in his own personal Bardo. And what in the hell, or heaven, is a Bardo?
Well, it's a Tibetan Buddhist concept that literally translates to intermediate states and is defined as the state of existence between death and the ever after, when one's consciousness is disconnected from its physical body. It's been said that in this in-between place, your conscience, all your thoughts, habits, and fears amplify to epic proportions.
Makes you think twice about what you let into your consciousness, huh? I had no idea that Abraham Lincoln suffered such a tremendous loss at such a crucial moment in American history. It makes you consider the type of leader he had to have been in such a state of grief, but resolved enough to care about the state of the Union and maintain his loyalty to the American people. And to imagine that just 7 months later, he dropped the game-changing emancipation of the century. I mean, it had to have been the most transformative year of his life, and no doubt, an incredible case study for any psychologist or historian. This story is an exploration of transitions, a reminder that empathy knows no bounds, and an innovative approach to storytelling that's worth a read or two. It provides an experience of grief that's not so much sad, but more so awakening. And it sounds like an oxymoron to say this, but in this book, death reads like a breath of fresh air. It's about the reckoning of a life lived, the uncertainty of the great beyond or ever after, and most importantly, it provides insight into a leader whose personal grief didn't deter him from trying to form a more perfect union. If you've read Lincoln and the Bardo, share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what books changed your perspective on loss and grief. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember to read or be read. I'll talk to you later. Bye.